you for a lifetime underneath the moonlight. Cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. But without of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong, baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah.
Hey, 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 hey. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Danae Show. I am Danielle Danae, aka Danny Danae, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Why are conservatives so against age gap dating? Let's talk about it. So this was a thing I came across. Guys, I love to watch Candace Owens. I agree with a lot of things she says. Don't agree with all the things she says, but that's true about anybody. But recently, I noticed that when she's speaking about somebody and they're older and you can tell or they have had past history of dating someone super younger than them, she's always cringed. She's like, oh, what is going on? Like, why is this even a thing? It's disgusting. She could tell she's disgusted. And I just don't get it. I would consider myself a conservative. I have conservative beliefs. I value the nuclear family, but I am not against it. Clearly, if you guys don't know, I am in a whole relationship where my man is 26 years older than me. Well, I think a little bit, I think a year old. I'm 26. He'll be 53 in May. So, and I'll be 27. So right now it's 26 years. So, or when I turn 27, it'll be 26 years. So we have this age gap, but we do just fine, like, and it's happened a lot. There's a lot of Hollywood and even regular relationships where the woman is super younger than the man, typically, and that's the case when the relationship actually works. Now, there are some where the woman is way more older than the man, but you don't see a lot of those couples lasting. It's kind of, rare. It's Hollywood relationships that are like that. Typically, the woman's a big star and the man's kind of coming up. He's not as known as the woman, and they stay together because, she's iconic, and that's how it kind of works. And pays her bills even, right? But with an older man dating a younger woman, there's a reason why it works out, and I want to get into why it does. I also came across Brett Cooper, who I consider to be a conservative. I'm sure she considers herself to be a conservative. And in one of her recent shows, she was actually talking about Elon Musk and, the whole baby mama drama. Everybody's been talking about it. And she mentioned that, again, she was saying, like, it's super weird that one of his baby mothers is super younger than him. He's also in his 50s, and his baby mothers are in their early 20s, early mid-20s, I believe. So, yeah, she made a comment making it seem like that was so weird, again, kind of similar to Candace, and, discussed it, all that stuff. So I want to talk about it because I was like, I'm seeing this twice. It's probably something that's heavy. I have seen it from other people, but those are the two main people I know for sure have said something about it because I subscribe to their YouTube channel and I watch their shows. But it seems like it's the whole community of conservatives, a majority of them at least. And I wanted to discuss, like, what is that reason? Like, what is behind that? Again, I don't believe this, and I am a conservative, but, even though I can understand why some of these reasons, understand some of the reasons, but again, I don't agree with those reasons. But here's why I think, conservatives are so against age gap dating. And I think one of them, because maybe they find it to be pedophilic. I looked up this word. I was like, oh, is pedophilic a word? I asked my boyfriend. Is it? And we both didn't know. We had to look it up. But it's actually a word. It's actually considered a disorder. It's a pedophilic disorder where obviously an older person is attracted to a minor person. And I was like, oh, okay, well, say, they deem, a 20-something-year-old person as, these conservatives deem them as children. So a grown man, not also 21 and not also 31. No, when it's 50 and up, it seems like that's the range of men they're talking about when they're talking about super older, being super weird. It's like a grown man being attracted to a 10-year-old. And the thing is, guys, the thing about that is a grown woman is a grown woman. 18, 21, they are officially adults by law, okay? You can argue with the law, you can have your opinion about the law, but the law is law, okay? So a 50-year-old man dating a 21-year-old woman is fine. It's legal, so I don't know why it looks so down upon, because it's legal. You can debate, well, not all laws are okay. It's a law. Okay, it's passing the law. It's not breaking the law. Okay, so take that out of your head. And these conservatives, people that are against this, they love to ask the question, well, what does a 50-year-old have in common with a 20-year-old? What? Like, you must not hang around, like, it's so funny. Being my age, so interesting, and being in my industry, I experience people. I'm in a great experience where I get to experience people that are my age. I experience people that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. And with that experience, I've noticed that, maturity, likes, dislikes, it doesn't really come with age. It's just, you have to, you have to look at that certain individual and you study what occupies their time, their interests and stuff. And that's what it is they're interested in. When you figure it out, it is what it is. There's not a specific age where they're only interested in this. I know it seems like, a lot of 20-year-olds are only interested on being on their phones and stuff like that and interested in themselves. But a lot of other 20-year-olds are not. They're into things like I am, hot yoga, into some politics, some even societal issues, so yeah, to make it seem like all 20-year-olds are so naive and dumb and not interested, excuse me, not interested in more serious matters. It's kind of offensive to us 20-year-olds. We're like, what the heck? The ones, period, but especially the ones that are attracted to older men. So it's just like, where did that opinion come from? And again, I think it's very jaded. It's very biased. But living like a place in Los Angeles, like so many people, so many different types of people are here, ethnicities, they come from so many different backgrounds. Someone could be so mature at 20 years old because they experienced certain things in life versus somebody who's 50-year-old and, had their stuff handed to them their whole life. So they're very immature for a 50-year-old. Maturity doesn't always come with age. We know this to be true, right? So yeah, there could be a mature person, a mature 20-year-old who has the same interest as a mature 50-year-old. Just like there could be an immature 20-year-old that likes and attracted to an immature 50-year-old. It is what it is. I've seen those relationships happen. Well, I deem them to be immature, but everybody has their own perspective. And the fact that conservatives, I love us, and I love that, we value things like family, but when it comes to common sense, sometimes it's like, it doesn't get, how do I say this? It doesn't fully grasp in one's mind. I don't know why, when it comes to specific things like this. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. How can a 50-year-old be attracted to a 20-year-old? Simple. Men are attracted to youth and beauty. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's what it is. Now, the line gets drawn when it's a grown man attracted to a 10-year-old. Obviously, that's pedophile behavior. But throwing 20-year-olds in the same category as a 10-year-old, it's not the same. Stop trying to merge them together. They're not one and the same, guys. A 20-year-old, again, is an adult by law. A 10-year-old is not. Clearly a minor, right? There's body development and stuff, all that comes with puberty and all that other stuff. So let's stop the cap on that, right? But a young woman in her early 20s, 18 even, is the best she's going to look as a young woman, as a grown adult, right? She's her most youthful as an adult and probably the most beautiful she's ever going to be, typically. Some people look better with age, but typically, they get into shape or something. But as far as I'm talking about the face, guys. Excuse me. Ooh, I must have drank something. Ooh. Anyway, men are attracted to beauty, whether you want to believe it or not, they are. And obviously, what's beautiful is super youthful looking skin, tight, smooth skin, which all gets worse as you get older. Let's be real. I know y'all hate to hear the truth out there, but it is the truth. So that makes sense that an older man is going to like a younger woman who is prettier and has tighter skin, like I said, and more fertile. That's mainly, most men that want to start a family, they're looking for a woman who's most fertile so they can spread their seed in the sense they want to continue their legacy. Right? There's other factors, and I hate that it's so pinpointed on, how young they look. And it's just like, no, there's a million other things going on in a man's mind. A real man, provider man. Every time I speak about men, I'm speaking about the good men out there that have goals, that are admirable, and like I said, are worried about stuff like building their legacies. I'm not talking about these guys that are going out and spreading their seed to random girls that they see and just it is what it is and are careless with who they're sleeping with. I'm not talking about those type of men. I'm talking about the men that, acknowledge their attraction, but are smart enough to know that, with beauty, it comes with youth and beauty. There also is high fertility levels, right? Typically, right? The only reason I can cringe at an older man being attracted to a super young woman is if she's underage, and it should be the same all around. I don't get this backlash. I think it's about the women looking so young. You're like, oh yeah, she's 21, but she looks, I don't know, she looks 17 or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's by law on her birth certificate. This is when she was born. She can't help if she looks younger than she is. So stop being fake mad. Stop being upset about something that can't control and is fact. She's over 21. Who cares what she looks like? If it's, you don't know for a fact if that's creep behavior that, she looks younger than she is. So that's why he's attracted to her, because she looks like a little itty bitty child. It's like, I don't know about that. And most relationships out here, you'll see, like even with Leonardo DiCaprio, that everybody likes to comment on him having girlfriends that were under 25, even though he's dating a 26-year-old model right now. They never go below 21, typically, even though they could date an 18-year-old. They never do. Because of optics, and in today's times, we live in times where 18-year-olds aren't mature enough to be in any relationship with an older man. I absolutely agree with it. It's just a mentality thing, more so than a how they're going to look thing. No 18-year-old in today's time can have an actual conversation. I mentioned in a previous video, I was like, you know what? I talk about this all the time. Yeah. Anybody born after 2000, like it's going to be so tough for them dating, because we have these dating sites. Nobody's doing stuff in person anymore. No one can people don't know how to do simple things like pick up on someone's body language, communicate how they're actually feeling, tell the truth. So it's 2025 now. Someone born in 2000 will be 25 now. And it's just like, it's stretched. I was born 2 years before 2000, so I get a little pass. I was born in 98. But anybody born after, it's like they either got to be raised super in a super strict household, super good mother and father present, not allowing them to be on social media at super young age, all those factors, because again, our media is raising a lot of our kids now, and, they don't know how to operate in an adult setting like hundreds of years ago, where a 16-year-old could be a mother, could get married and all that. So she would have the maturity in order to handle her business, take care of her man, all that stuff. But I acknowledge that we're in different times. We're not in so different times that where if a 25-year-old wants to date a 50-year-old, it's looked down upon. You're automatically like, oh, she's not mature enough. Until you have a conversation with that woman and really look at the way they move together, how she speaks in interviews or something like that. So because we love to judge celebrities. Even on the girl down the street who's dating a 20-year-old that's dating an older man, like look at the way she carries herself. Look how she speaks. And if you still have the same opinion, cool. But when you actually listen and hear, how she's so mature and they're happy together, you see the man, he's not complaining about being with her, pardon me, then why are you complaining? What is the real problem? That's what I want to talk about. I feel like so many people say they're outraged about one thing, but are really outraged about another, but they don't want to admit what they're really outraged about because they know they'll get pushback. Just like, huh? Or be seen like as a hypocrite when it comes to their own situation or a family member situation or something like that. Or seem insecure. I'm going to go into that. The reason why I think Candace Owens is so against it. My boyfriend and I had an interesting outlook on that. Actually, more so he did. And I agreed. So I'm going to speak more into that later. But yeah, but think about it even. Okay, we know in today's time it's weird and it's not legal to date a 16-year-old nowadays. But think of history. Think of thousands of years ago. And even I even realized like this was a thing in like Disney movies. Like if you peep Ariel, the little princess, she gets married. She says, I'm 16 years old, daddy, to her merman daddy. She's like, I'm 16 years old. I'm able to make my own choices. And then it's not a year or two. It's not 10 years that goes by that she marries Prince Eric. It's hard to determine the time frame, but it's not that long, guys. It's not on her 21st birthday that she marries this man. And nobody sees a problem in it. It's like, oh, it's Disney, it's cute, and she can sing, and looks past that. But the moment, a younger woman wants to date a younger man, obviously not a 16-year-old, guys. Let me be clear. We should abide by the law. I'm not saying that. But the moment a 21-year-old, a legal adult, gets into a relationship with a 45-year-old, we want to cringe at it. It's like, what? But play Ariel any day and every day to their little kids, the Little Mermaid, pardon me, to their kids all the time. And just like she says she's 16. And there's no speculating, there's no debating. She says, I'm 16 years old. I can make my own decisions. Because at 16 years old, I mean, it's just, that was the time. It's so tricky having these debates because God put us on earth for a reason, and there's a reason why women get their periods at maybe like 15. I think is the common time. I think some women get it at maybe 14 or 13. That's rare. I think pretty much all around they get it at 15. But the moment I really believe that God put us on earth, God put women on earth to have periods at 15 years old, because that's when they're eligible to have kids. And we have this thing where you want to get married. Conservatives believe you get married and have kids. At 16 years old, there was a time where you were able to get married. You were qualified to get married because you started your period. There's times in the Bible where, grown men, 35-year-old men, had 16-year-old wives. And it's a thing. Again, I'm not talking about today's time. I know that 16-year-olds today are not mentally there to get married, and it's against the law, right? But I'm telling you, remove that away for a second. Think about history. Like, is it really pedophilic then? Was it pedophilic then? Why did no one think they were calling those men pedophiles that had 16-year-old wives? 35-year-old men that had 16-year-old wives. It's because if you understood nature, a man's nature, and even a woman's nature, it was like the moment they got their period, they knew they wanted to start a family. They wanted to be with a husband and serve him and produce kids for him. Because it was a different type of, they understood what they were on earth to do. It was a mindset where everybody knew their purpose. But now we're in a world where everybody thinks they're meant to be famous and make all this money and, just be a boss, BITCH, all that stuff. And men just think, I can do me, rule the world. And it's so backwards. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And again, I know this is not today's times, but I want you to really think about that. I know the law is you have to be an adult to get married, obviously. And obviously, an adult is 21 years old, 18 years old. Excuse me. All right. So I'm not over here saying break the law, guys. In today's times, we can acknowledge a truth from the old days and also abide by the truth of today. And the truth is, more than likely, a woman isn't mature enough to get in a relationship at 16 years old. But we can't knock the fact that a 21-year-old might be mature enough. And it's not automatically creepy if a 35-year-old, 45-year-old man is attracted to a 21-year-old. We all know how good we looked at 21. I know I did. I look good at 21. I understand. I understand. Okay? And to say, they'll also, conservatives and people that are against this will say, oh, what do a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old have to talk about? Again, the maturity isn't, it doesn't come with age. Again, they could both be mature and have a bunch of different conversations. They could have a bunch of interests that they both like. I know me and my boyfriend, we're both into politics. We're both about bettering our community. We're both about fitness. We have a whole lot to talk about. So if you look at our relationship, I mean, we work together, we move together, we're all about one another. It's just like, you look stupid. That argument gets thrown out the window. Again, if these conservatives and these people so against super wide age gap dating, they they would have something to say about the ones that, you know, do have something to talk about. But they don't. They don't. Because they know that argument is played out. It's just something to say to kind of rile up people who believe this to be true and kind of shame them for wanting to be with older men. Younger women wanted to be with older men. Let me tell you something. And older men wanted to be with younger women. Let me tell you something. I've dated guys that were, well, a guy that was in his 20s. I dated a guy that was 35. And out of both of those relationships, the one I have right now is the best one, the most compatible, if you want to say, that I've ever been in. So stop with the fake outrage. Stop with the lies. This is not always the case. Again, you know, and it could be a case like conservatives love throughout like the bad look. Oh, the woman, you know, she's young and pretty and she wants to get with the older man for resources, money, status, whatever. It's just like, again, I make this argument all the time. Wealthy men are not complaining about gold diggers because they know there's an exchange there, an even exchange that is happening if they decide to go that route. You know, and a perfect example, like Elena Cardone, I love watching her speak. I love her podcast, or when she speaks on other people's podcasts I've seen. She says, yeah, when people call her a gold digger, she's like, yeah, I'm digging for gold. Yeah, I dug for gold when I married Grant. But guess what? I also provided that gold too. It came with me as well. So we were both benefiting for the situation. And why not would I be a gold digging? I want the best out of him. I want gold from him. I push him every day to make sure he's doing the best he can. Reach the highest level of success that he can. Gold status. And I require the same thing out of me. We're golden together. It's so funny. People love to use these terms like gold digger and, you know, pedophile and all this stuff to scare people from actually getting what it is they need in life, which is actually good for them. And young smart women understand it. They'll tell you the Rosie's and the Jason Statham, Jason Statham relationship that I put the picture on this thumbnail. They'll tell you straight up ask them like, oh, what made you attracted to someone so much older than me? It's just like, you know, women value providers. They love a man that's wiser, that can teach them things. And I guarantee you, Jason taught her so much. And maybe she taught him some stuff. But, you know, a lot of these women just know like to get in line because they know nothing. Again, when you admit that you know nothing, that's the moment you become the most respectable person ever. Andrew Tate said this. The moment you admit you know nothing is when you're able to accept everything and grow from it. It's when you're able to hear information and then, you know, form an opinion about it for yourself and continue growing on. But the moment you think you know everything is the moment you stunt your growth. And that's what a lot of these boss babes are doing, getting in these relationships with these men that are their age, you know, but not providing, not solving any problems, aren't protecting. Think about Jason, like, you know, in his movies, you can tell he's not the tallest, but he can beat somebody up that ever tried him. You don't mess with that guy. So it's so funny that this is looked down upon when actually I believe younger women that get in relationships with older men are smarter than a lot of other women. I know a lot of, you know, middle-aged women who are with men their age are going to probably be triggered, but am I lying? And I'm lying. And maybe you're like, oh, you're just saying this because you're young. When you get older, you're going to join the club. I don't know about that. I think I'm going to be realistic because I'm a realist. I put my feelings aside, accept things for how they really are. I'm going to understand that, yeah, I'm getting older. Yes, my beauty is not as great as it was at 21 when I'm 35. But guess what? I have something else that's worth so much. And that's what's in here and in here. And I worked on in my early 20s. I worked on in my early 20s making that so great that my looks won't be a pinpoint. It won't be the main factor of why my husband or boyfriend wants to be with me. I'm going to be an asset to him in a way that, just a pretty girl with no brain and nothing else of value isn't going to be. So again, he's like, women get so fixated on looks. And again, that's not, yes, men are very visual, but the prettiest woman, if you notice, the prettiest woman a man won't keep around if she's like absolute batshit, bat shit crazy. Lord, stop cussing, but crazy and super disrespectful and all that. It doesn't matter how pretty you are. But it's smart to be feminine, respectful, when you're super young versus when you're 40 years old and still maybe pretty, but again, not as tight skin, not as, pretty face, not as slim body. It's better to get it when you have all that too going for you. Just some advice, guys. Telling you my advice, it works out, never fails. Don't be mad at the messenger. It's just the message. So, yeah. And being with older men, it's not an easy way out. I feel like that's why, conservatives might be against age gap dating, because they feel like younger women just get with older men to get a payout, like I said, or clout or whatever it is. But I'm like, no, it takes a lot of work being with the older men because they've experienced things. And they're not going to tolerate the same thing a 25-year-old man is going to tolerate. Because they've been through life. They've seen how women move. They know all that, years change, but women don't typically, so, they play the game. They know how women operate. Their heart's been broken enough times to know how to maneuver now. So if you're being disrespectful and loud and annoying and, have nothing of depth in your mind, it's all about celebrities. It's all about getting plastic surgery. It's all about makeup. It's never about kids or your family or your potential family. Like, guys can pinpoint that in the first few minutes of talking to you. Older guys can pinpoint that in the first few minutes of talking to you and be good off you if you're not smart, if you're not caring, if you're selfish. Just a ugly human being. So you gotta put in work. You gotta read books. You gotta read up on them. Pay attention to them when they correct you or say they don't like something. Listen to them. If you want to keep that man, listen to them. I'm telling you, what you won't do, another woman will. Quick. For an older, successful, fit, protective type of man. Not just any old man, older man. It's that specific type of older man. So you get in line quick. If you weren't already put in line from the jump, you had a good father to teach you, how to, keep these type of men. That's great if you do, but a lot of women didn't. So yeah, it's tough. It takes a lot of work. And maybe I'll do an episode and break down each and everything. I kind of was vague about it, but that's for a whole nother show. There's a lot to go into, but basically, yeah, it's not the easy route out for a lot of women. The women that get into relationships where literally the man's just the sugar daddy, it doesn't typically last long, and it's not fulfilling. They're not really happy. I'm talking about the real fulfilling relationships that last long. You can tell he really cares for her, cares for their kids, cares for her family. That's a major factor. Look at the older man and the younger woman. Tell me, see if he cares about her family, knows her mom's name, dad's name, knows about their struggles, helps out with their struggles. That's a huge green flag if he is invested in that way. That's amazing. So saying that whole, what do they have in common and what could they talk about? It's just, again, it's been played out. We're over this. We've explained this, but I'll explain it again. I don't mind speaking about this because, I like talking about this because I got the one up. I got the lottery with my man. I sure did. So I'm going to try to put you up on game. The people that are watching this, I'm trying to help you guys out as well. I want everybody to win, but these men they don't come in packs. There's very few, right? So if you want to be that few, to get one of these men, you have to pay attention. But anyway, back to my point, guys. Oh my gosh, y'all got me talking. I just be talking. But the reason, and let's go back to Candace, the reason why I think Candace specifically is so against this, and my boyfriend made this point, and I absolutely agreed with him when he said this. If you don't know, Candace Owens is like 35. I think she's turning 36 this year. She said she's 35. It seems like she said she's 35 for forever. I'm like, when did this woman have a birthday? But anyway, she's 35, 36, or whatever. And she has a husband that is around the same age, I believe. I don't think he's 40 yet. Maybe later 30s. Anyway. The reason why I think she's so against it is because she knows, she didn't marry up, and that her husband is, like I said, around her age, but when he's 50, he is gonna still look good, and she's not gonna look so good. And there's always the potential instance where he kind of gets like tired of her looks and has the opportunity to entertain a 25-year-old or a 23-year-old or whatever. So, not or whatever, an adult. Let me be specific. An adult, right? A super young adult. So I think that's in the back of her mind every time she puts down an older guy in a relationship with a younger guy, or speaks about older men being attracted to younger women. I think that's always in the back of her head. And since she knows that to be true, it's like, it's like a truth, but it's like, I love Candace because she speaks so much truth about other things, but it's like when it comes to this truth, you want to battle it, and it's always something with someone, so I'm not knocking her, but it's just like, come on now, let's be realistic. It's not that big of an ick as you think it is. Stop trying to make it seem like there's all these men that are attracted to super, super young women just because they have a desire to be with somebody who looks like a kid. That's not the case. Stop. You just are worried that, Candace Owens is the most beautiful, right? Just looking at her exterior, you're worried that, you're not even that beautiful right now, and that you're going to get older, and, you look at the greatest you'll ever look right now, and when that look starts to deteriorate, maybe he won't be as attracted to you as he is now, despite you being super intelligent, super witty, all that great stuff. But you should know, Candace, you being you, the influence you have, you should know that's going to be enough for her. I don't know for sure. I can't predict the future. But typically, again, when a guy is super in love with you, super invested, and you have more to offer, he's not going to leave you just because you have aged in the face a little bit. Now, if you do something like gain a whole bunch of weight and stop getting your hair done and stop trying to maintain your beauty as much as you can, then that's a whole other topic. But he's not just going to up and leave you because you've aged, Not that I've seen, not this type of man. He looks like he's truly invested in. For those of you who don't know, Candace Owens' husband is very successful. His parents, I think, are also very successful. So that's why I said, the opportunity is going to present itself. It already is, but it's going to present itself even more when he gets older, because men just age like wine. They get better with age. That's why we love the older man. I'm telling you, so many other factors. It's because they're wiser and finer. It's like, ooh, you win the lottery, like I said. So that's the reason I think Candace Owens was so is so like icky about it. Now, when it comes to Brett Cooper, if you look her up, she's like 22, 23. She's super young. And she's married. She's married to a guy that I think is 30. So there is a little bit of an age gap there, but it's not a 26-year age gap, right? It's only by a few years. So I think the pushback is just because, you know, they see it as two different generations, you know, coming together and dating. It's weird for them to grasp that idea. Again, two different worlds coming together. They don't see that working out. But again, you know, them being two of the smartest women I've come across in podcasting, not realizing that, you know, men appreciate beauty, and men think about things like fertility and, you know, want to continue their legacy, and they have to be, you know, attracted to you in order to do so. And you're most attractive when you're young. I don't get why that's not understood. But again, it might be a thing with Brett Cooper, knowing that, you know, also that she's, I think Brett Cooper is fairly pretty. I think she's actually really pretty. She has really nice hair. But maybe she has a fear of aging out somehow, because Hollywood would do that to you. She grew up, it's interesting, she grew up a child actor. And, you know, I'm in Los Angeles. And, you know, age is something that they worry you about, even when you're super young. I remember thinking I was going to age out. You know, if I don't make this by a certain time, you know, I'm going to be super old. I felt old at 25 years old. And it's just like, what? So maybe that is a factor too. Subconsciously, she's worried about getting old and quote unquote aging out of her marriage, which is insane. Again, because I think her husband also, you can tell he's really about her too. So I don't know. I think it's a subconscious thing clearly with Candace, but I don't know about with Brett. I don't know. And there could be other factors in there as well. But yeah, again, guys, compatibility, again, that argument gets thrown out the window, because even if, like, I think it's a blessing that my boyfriend and I are so in tune, and we love politics and we love working out and all that. But literally, like, you don't even have to do all that for a relationship to work. If you know your purpose and know your place. Again, years ago when politics weren't really talked about and women were only focused on having kids and being able to nurture them and love them until they're old enough to have a family of their own, they weren't speaking about politics. They weren't speaking about their likes and dislikes, the husbands and wives. They were there for a sole purpose. The wives were there to get pregnant by the man and take care of that kid, nurse that kid until it was old enough to work, to you know, understand certain things that happen and to have conversations with, old enough, and then the father would step in and that. But when it came to the relationship with the wife, with the husband and wife, there was no deep connection. Like, all this lovey-dovey stuff, it's so interesting. Like, people really deem marriage as like this lovey-dovey thing, and then so many rom-coms are the culprit in this. Like, love and marriage, it's a thing where everybody's holding hands and are just so in tune with one another, soulmates and all that other stuff, when really marriage is about duty. Again, delivering through one's purpose. And our purpose on this earth is to repopulate. Now, there's some instances where women can't have kids. Obviously, I'm not talking to them, but the majority of women are meant to get pregnant, have kids, and continue on humanity. So they don't have to, you know, love football and, you know, go to games together and hold their hands on every date. It's like, no, they just got to know what they're supposed to do in the relationship. This is my husband. Oh, he wants me to do this. I'm going to do this and this because he's going to do this, and this for me. And that's what it is. It's an even exchange. So this whole compatibility thing irks me the wrong way. It's a tired argument. And yeah, I just don't get what the ick is. I think conservatives are all about how things look, right? And if something doesn't look right, they're like, even if there could be nothing really wrong about it, it's just seen as wrong by a bunch of people, so now it's wrong to them and they accept that as a wrong. That's very hypocritical to me. I think more of a leftist liberal tactic. They need to leave that over there. Conservatives should not be doing that. We should be objectively looking at things and being like, oh, well, this is a thing that happens. I don't really see the wrongness in this. He's an adult. She's an adult. What is the problem? And, despite what other people think, stand on what we know to be true, that we know to be legal. So to any conservatives out there that are against super age gap dating and have the limits like, oh, it can be 10 years, but it can't be 20 years. Oh, it can be 3 to 5 years, but it can't be 10 years or whatever it is. Stop the fake outrage. It's like, why are you mad? And if that isn't for you, cool. No one is forcing it on you. Do what you have to do. If you're in a happy relationship with your husband and y'all are the exact same age, fine. But don't knock the girls that want to be with the older man. Don't condemn them because they're actually playing a smart move. With older men, another factor, typically they're settled, they got their finances in order, so that women don't have to worry about, trying to be a boss babe, making sure they get a paycheck from their job, and bowing down, kowtowing to a boss that doesn't really give a F about them. At least this man gives a F about me, or, maybe he doesn't show affection, but he's taking care of me. He's taking care of our kids. He's taking care of my mom and dad. That's a pretty good deal. This is a hard world out there. Ever since women were allowed to work, it's been hard for women. Trust me, I know. So that is the ultimate smart move for a woman, to not experience hardship, find her man when she's young, and get an older man that's going to teach her things about life that, she would probably find out on her own, but she doesn't have to. She wouldn't find out on her own through hardship. It would have been an ugly way to find out. She gets to find out in the prettiest way. Find out from a man that loves her and cares for her and will communicate it in a way where she knows is loving. Even if it doesn't sound the greatest, his actions show that he loves her. And that's what women value. That's what young women like me value. That's what all women should value. It's funny. It's funny. It's not really talked about when a 40-year-old woman is dating maybe an 80-year-old man. Or a 60-year-old man even. Because she grown, huh? Because she's a super adult. Like the 50-year-old is a super adult. It's stupid. There's 40-year-olds. There's Drea Michelle's and there's girls that are my age. It's not a maturity thing. I'm telling you guys, maturity does not come with age. So don't have the outrage with a 20-year-old versus a 39, 40-year-old simply because you think one is more mature than the other one. No, it's not the case. Age gap dating is actually, I think, the best option for women right now. And it has been for years. It's just now we got social media and losers out here speaking against it. And now other people have adapted it. Conservatives, we're too smart for this. We're too smart for this. To feed into this nonsense. So that's all I got to say about that. Conservatives, lighten up. Okay? Okay. All right. Guys, that's all I have to say about that. Please like this video if you like this video. Please comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Frena nada no es. Yo no soy el que la mando, nunca lo seré. Su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela. Y vamos los 7 días de la semana, te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo muerto. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada.